Good morning. I'm Larry the Green Winer, and I'm standing here today in front of the wines at Bunker Hill Vineyard and Winery in Bunker Hill, Florida. And the reason that we're standing here is to discuss something that is very important to you, the wine consumer, and that is how to read a wine label. Now, this will be the first in a series of different types of YouTube videos that will help you as a wine consumer. But this is probably one of the most important, very basic, but also extremely important. And the reason we're here instead of somewhere else is because of this chart right here that's hanging on the wines in front of the wines. That's what it's there for. And it says Wine Laws and Rankings. Now, these are federal laws. Every winery in America, of every state of the union, producing wine for you, the wine consumer, has to comply with what's on this chart. Bunker Hill does too, by the way. They're a winery producing wine in America, so they have to comply too. And to my knowledge, every winery does comply with this. I know of no exceptions. There can't be any exceptions. These are federal laws. Now, keep this in mind. Every winery of every state of the union has to tell you, the wine consumer, how your wine is made. Now, that's extremely important. But we got to know how to read that wine label so we know what they're telling us. Now, there's only 5 types. That's what's very clearly highlighted on this chart. There's not 15. There's only 5. So it's not real complicated. But somewhere on every bottle of wine, one of these 5 will be there clearly for you as a wine consumer to see, so you can make judgments on if you want to buy their wines or not. Now, the best there is number 1. Grown, produced, vented, and bottled. That's what you want to see really on a bottle of wine produced in America. What that's telling you is that winery is actually growing stuff out of the soils where you are. Grown. They're investing in real estate. They're investing in a commodity. They're investing in jobs in America. That's what you're looking for. That's the best there is. You can't do better than grown, produced, vented, and bottled. The second one says produced, vented, and bottled. Now, you notice the word grown is not part of that combination. Now, what that means to you as a consumer is this. Let's suppose that the winery was growing strawberries. Here's a bottle of strawberry wine. This is a perfect example because on the label it says produced, vented, and bottled. Second one says produced, vented, and bottled. Now, what that means to you, the consumer, is they're not actually growing the fresh strawberries for this wine. They may be coming 2 miles down the road, but they're not actually growing them. They're doing everything else. They're actually producing the wine, they're aging the wine, and they're bottling the wine. They're doing everything else, but they're not growing. That's what that one tells you. Now, the third and the fourth and the fifth are totally different. Those will be 2 words or just 1 word. Now, the first of the ones with only 2 words says produced and bottled. The second one says vented and bottled. Now, vented and cellared mean the same thing. It just means aged, so don't get hung up on the terminology. And then the last one is the word bottled. What are they doing? They're just putting it in a bottle. That's all they're doing. They're not really doing anything else. And there's millions of those bottles out there in the marketplace, so keep that in mind. But as a consumer, you've got to know how to read the wine label. Now, actually, I'm going to go back to this room right here. This is actually Foxy Red. Real wineries, the grown, produced, vented, bottled ones, most of them, not 100%, but most of them are going to tell you right on the front label. Bunker Hill does. It says grown, produced, vented, and bottled. It's right where you can see. It's clear. It's very precise. Now, most of the wineries in America will not tell you on the front labels, but they have to tell you, so you're going to have to turn the bottle around, and it's going to usually be in tiny print just above the warning label on the back. But they got to tell you because it's mandated by federal law. So somewhere on the label, front or back, there's going to be one of these 5. So keep that in mind. Bunker Hill's on the front, but some of them will be on the back side. So keep that in mind. Now, the next federal law we want to discuss is this word natural. I'm going to pick up the strawberry wine again. Right here on the front of it, it has this word natural. Many of you, in fact most of you, have never seen that before. But this word natural applies to any kind of fruit or vegetable wine produced in America. And what it tells you, the consumer, is only wineries in America producing any kind of fruit or vegetable wine from whole, fresh fruits, not juices and concentrates, can use the word natural on a wine label. So if you walked into Bunker Hill today and you picked up this bottle of strawberry wine, you should look at it and you would see this word natural. Instantly you would know that the contents of this wine, the strawberry wine, is made from whole, fresh strawberries, not juices and concentrates. Now, then you would want to see how it was made. You would notice that the word grown isn't here. So you as a wine consumer, the next words out of your mouth should be, to the proprietor here, I see you're not growing the whole fresh strawberries for this bottle of wine. Where are they coming from? And then the proprietor would answer to you, well, they're coming 2 miles down the road. We're getting them there. They grow beautiful berries. They're all organic. So they would bring them down. That's where we get our strawberries from. But you see, you're in the driver's seat. Now, when you get back to these bottom three here, it says produced, vented, and bottled, and bottled. The next question you have to ask them is, I see you're not growing the stuff for this bottle of wine. Where are you sourcing the juices and concentrates from? Because if they were growing that stuff, you would see grown on the label, and they're not growing anything, the stuff for that bottle of wine. Well, they would have to tell you clearly on the label. So you're getting this now? You see how basic this is? But you've just been elevated to your proper position as a wine consumer, and that's at the head of the class. You know what the rules are in America for winemaking. This is basic. Every winery of our country in the USA has to comply with what's on here, no exceptions. Now, one quick little note on the word natural. And this is going to be kind of mystifying to you, I get it. It's mystifying to me too. But I'm going to set the strawberry down. I'm going to go back and pick up this bottle here of Foxy Red. The word natural is not on the label. Now these are federal laws, remember, not state laws. When this law was written, an exception was written into the law, and it says, no winery in America, including Bunker Hill, can use the word natural on the bottle of grape wines. So grapes, the only exception to this natural law. Any other fruit or vegetable wine produced in America, that's what you want to see is the word natural. But unfortunately, you're going to have to go down other roads. You got to look for the word grown when you're looking at grape wines, because that still applies, but not the word natural. That's totally excluded and has no bearing upon it. Now, imported wines do not have to comply with these federal laws. It's not a level playing field. Imported wines are governed by our trade agreements. And whatever that trade agreement that they're signatories to, both America and that country, they need only comply with country of origin. So it's not a level playing field. So I don't know how, you don't either, I'm sure, how a lot of these new laws are being written for trade. But they should say, if it's our law, they should also have to comply with American law. But today, that isn't how they're written. They need only comply with country of origin law. So on imported wines, you're on your own without much help from anybody. Now I know that's a lot, and if you have any other questions, I strongly suggest that you visit our website, and here's what it is. It's www.bunkerhillvineyard.com. That takes you right to the website, and from there, if you need to email us or you have any questions, please feel free to get back to us. We're here for you. So until next time, this concludes our first session on how to read a wine label. Next time we're going to pick up something else that you really know and need to know about wines. So from the Green Winer, see ya.